Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Episode 3. Yeah, we're only doing one episode this week, just because we're still getting back into things. I am technically still healing, and I just want to be safe rather than overuse my voice right now, just in case my throat does still have some issues coming on. And it does. There's a tiny bit of scratchiness still in there. I can feel it, and it's like, I just don't want to push it, you know? But yeah. So, we have another episode here. Our first couple episodes kind of set up the scene for us, I cannot talk right now. They started to set up some characters and give us the, I guess, main thing. This is in a world where these heroes all exist and stuff, but they haven't come together to form the Avengers yet. And they're kind of at odds with S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. We also saw that for the main story, Black Widow seemingly betrayed S.H.I.E.L.D. and accused Hawkeye of doing it instead. I still think she's either a double agent or a triple agent or something like that. Either way, she's not just working for S.H.I.E.L.D. She's not just a bad guy. She's either a double agent pretending to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. on Fury's orders. Well, actually, that'd just be an agent. No, if she was a double agent, I don't even know. I don't know. I think with a double agent, she would be pretending to be the secret agent, basically. Which means just the agent, secret agent, would be her acting in secret in the in Hydra. A double agent would be her actually working for Hydra, pretending to work for S.H.I.E.L.D., pretending to work for Hydra. Or something like, I don't even know anymore. I'm a little tired today. Maybe that's just it. Yeah, it's just like, there's a lot of snow coming down as well, so I'm kind of like focused heavily on that because I got to do that before I leave to go see a movie tonight with my church. So yeah. You're probably seeing this after I get back from the movie, just because there is a lot I have to do to get ready. I shovel, for one, and everything. So this reaction is probably not even going to be up till later tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, otherwise, I'm really excited to get into more of this. The first two episodes were good. Nothing amazing or anything, but they were good and they set the tone well. Now, I believe this series only has one season. I don't think it ever got more than that. I might be wrong about that, but I think it only has the one. And either way, I don't know if they can really pull off like something this done kind of in this way if they try to make it last too long, I feel. This kind of Marvel series, the only way you can make this kind of thing work in terms of really long length, in my eyes, is having it be movies, like the MCU. If you have it, like, lasting too long as a series, it'll end up just feeling really forced and kind of... It'll make you lose interest really quickly. Let's put it that way. That's how I view it, at least. But DC's able to hold the attention more. Maybe that's just for me. Maybe it's because I am a DC fangirl. But DC's definitely just has that interest factor with its characters and villains. They're definitely a lot more interesting and able to hold that, capture and hold that focus a lot easier than with Marvel's. Even with Spider-Man stuff, I don't think like a really long multi-season deal would work. I think that Marvel kind of, again, unless it is like the movies, in which case it's all connected and works in a very specific manner to where it has to build up like that over years. I just think Marvel's the kind of thing that more benefits from shorter storytelling, while DC is more longer, in my eyes at least. Though, I don't know. I just think that they've got a good thing going here at the start, and I just don't want to see it ruined, I guess. I don't want to see it become old, if that's a way to put it. Either way, yeah, I'm excited to get into more of this. I know everything I've been saying here has been kind of like, what are you talking about? But it's like, again, I'm really tired. I am just getting over the sickness. I'm just good enough to record again and everything. But it's like, that doesn't mean that I'm still like fully all together again. You know what I mean? Still struggling. Still very tired. Still just a little fuzzy and out of it. Definitely nowhere near as bad as I was. Again, I'm good to record, but still. Yeah, I think that we should probably just begin. Might be a good idea. Okay, so when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play, because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So another good episode. Again, not amazing or anything, but good. There were a couple of things that happened in this one, though. This one definitely focused on not only just the namesake of the episode, which was Ant-Man, but it focused on a couple other things as well. So, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne. And Hank is not really a fan of fighting. He believes that criminals should be rehabilitated, made valuable members of society, and he works with S.H.I.E.L.D. to help make this happen via the Big House, a miniaturized prison using these basically what looks like mini Ultrons in order to help take these guys down. We see that in terms of the timeline, this clearly takes place after everything happened with Fury getting aged up a bit. And yeah, meanwhile, Janet is more of the fun-loving type of character. She's a lot more of a... She wants to use her power. She wants to be a hero. She wants to get into all of the action and everything and take the villains down and get them sent away and stuff. Basically the complete opposite of Hank. And it's interesting because in the MCU, it's kind of the opposite of that, at least from what I remember of the first Ant-Man movie. In the first Ant-Man movie, Hank Pym is not our Ant-Man. He's the creator of the technology. But he's actually more of a mentor figure to Scott Lang, who is an Ant-Man in the MCU. Scott Lang is the fun-loving one. He's a goof. He's ridiculously silly and funny, and doesn't take a lot seriously. While Janet is much more serious. She takes things a little too seriously at some points. So it's interesting to see that difference in character. I believe I mentioned it during the reaction. I have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet. I know I'm really late on that one. But I do plan to see it before I see Avengers 4 or anything like that. Especially since apparently, according to the trailer, Ant-Man is going to have some kind of, at least, semi-major role in Avengers 4. But yeah, I will see it eventually. I have seen Wasp's costume from it, though, and honestly, I think I like her costume in the MCU better. The costume in here is not bad by any means, but the MCU, I don't know, it looks less silly. And I think the MCU does that really well. I think one of the reasons the MCU is so popular and so good is because it takes a lot of the silly elements that were in Marvel comics and stuff and tones them down a little bit. Let's be honest, Marvel is silly. Yes, DC can be silly too, to a degree, but DC's always been more serious and more dark and more just a more serious tone. Marvel's always been the more silly, fun one. And Spider-Man, I mean, alone is enough proof of that. But Wasp is another good example here. They definitely, just, with the costume. I mean, the costumes in general just are toned down quite a bit. So I can appreciate that. But outside of all of that, we also had Claw. Now, we saw Claw and his goons scrap with, Hank. I don't know why the name was escaping me all of a sudden. We saw him scrap with Hank at the beginning and kind of get beaten because he was trying to steal the vibranium that Hank had. So, instead, he decides to work with M'Baku and overthrow King T'Chaka, the Black Panther of Wakanda. And this is another big difference from the MCU. In the MCU, the Black Panther mantle is a thing, but it's been kind of kept secret. Like, the king doesn't sit on the throne in the Black Panther costume, for example. Until T'Challa, the Black Panther is kind of, in the MCU, is kind of just the secret that the kings hold. So it's just, it's interesting to see that it's so blatantly on display even before T'Challa takes the mantle. So M'Baku challenges T'Challa. We've seen these challenges in the MCU. It is a part of the characters, part of Wakanda's traditions. And we see M'Baku wins by having Claw cheat, basically. He has Claw send this sound wave that screws T'Chaka, and it allows him to basically just punch T'Chaka to death. And again, in the MCU, that's also another difference. In the MCU, he died in the bombing. I remember that. And here, it's obviously very different. But not in a bad way, necessarily. We see T'Challa leave. He gets the new suit from the Shrine of Bastet. And he heads off to, I guess, start training and preparing to take back Wakanda. We saw who I assume is Shuri there as well, and I'm kind of hoping so. I don't know if she's going to be quite like she is in the MCU. I'm honestly thinking probably not, which sucks because I loved her in the MCU, in Black Panther and Infinity War. But I do know in the comics, Shuri does take over the Black Panther mantle at one point as well. So I wonder if that will be included at all. I'm thinking probably not, but it would be interesting. Either way, we see that Claw and M'Baku have kind of formed this deal, and M'Baku's allowing Claw to take some of the vibranium. So, yeah, I think Claw is going to be a recurring villain as this series progresses, along with the just general Hydra group we've already seen. So, this has been really interesting. It's definitely building this story, but it's showing us these different perspectives in order to do it. Things are definitely connecting, but not in ways we'd necessarily expect. I think these first episodes are just kind of introducing the initial Avengers team. Kind of introducing all of these characters, and then we're going to see how they all come together. So we still have to get to Captain America, we still have to get to Thor, and I don't know who else was in the intro. I could check real quick. I mean, it's not a big deal. I've seen the intro already multiple times now, so at this point, it's not a big deal. So yeah, we have Thor, we have Captain America, and that's pretty much it from all we haven't seen. Because Black Panther is there, and Hawkeye is there. We see Ant-Man and the Wasp. We have Thor. Thor is one of the ones we haven't. Captain America we haven't. Hulk and Iron Man are there. So yeah, we only have 2 more. 2 more to go. And then it's probably going to show how they join up and how they end up forming the Avengers. But yeah, otherwise, this was a pretty darn good episode. I really did enjoy this. And I'm hoping that we get more awesome stuff as we continue on. And we'll just kind of have to see. So in the meantime, tell me what you thought of this episode down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,